G'day guys and welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be reviewing the game between Geelong and Melbourne at the MCG, and the Dees got the job done by 8 points, giving us our first defeat for the season. Tough watch, it must be said, and potentially even more tough for neutral fans, maybe. Who really knows? Not really one for the ages, and thankfully it picked up a little bit in that second half, especially in the third quarter for us. It was... Melbourne got the game on their terms. They played the way they wanted to play for the longer periods. They had field position. They moved it out of their back line pretty easily without too much fuss or much pressure, which was definitely lacking on that front. I'll look at it in... purely in isolation. It's 8 points versus we had our chances to win the game. So, we've executed that previously. You're not always going to execute 100%. And, we had some chances to win the game. And, in previous weeks, maybe we have kicked them and you can't kick them all and you can't win them all. So, considering the volume of players that weren't at their best and the scope for improvement, didn't play how we wanted to play. Melbourne probably played one of their best games of the year, and we were relatively ordinary. But to only lose by 8 points, not too bad. And we'll be better for the run. Losing still sucks. I won't shy away from that. We're not to think we're going to go through 22 and zip in the home and away, or 23 and zip. Pretty unrealistic. So that's, we're going to lose a game or a portion of games at some stage, and it just happens to be right now. I felt the Dees, they had their marking game going. Their skills were, really switched on up until probably trying to, put through a 6-pointer up until potentially the last quarter, where it's funny when you can kick so inaccurately like that, and then you can't miss when you do have chances. So what do we have? 3-2 in the last quarter, and then Dees had 5 straight. So, and then it's an 8-point game. It's pretty close to 3/4 time. We're up, but weren't able to go on with it. Melbourne, were too good in the final term. I felt like, Melbourne's tackling pressure was massive, and ours was definitely lacking. Looked a little bit tired throughout the game, and the pressure Melbourne applied, and every contest they weren't letting us through. I felt like when we were trying to get that overlap run and run and carry with handball, that they were onto it. When any team that applies pressure like Melbourne did, you're going to have a hard time winning, and we weren't able to execute properly under that heat, and the referred pressure we got out of that impacted our ability to be clean up forward. Not only delivering the ball inside 50, but then you've also got the pressure on the player that's got to kick it after all of that intensity that sort of goes into it. Ended up with 9-12 at the end of the match, and then Melbourne really took their chances late. We just in defence look a little bit disorganised. I felt like and more so in our forward 50 that it got walked out way too easily, that Melbourne would intercept and get the ground ball more often than not. So that post-contest ball, they would just grab the ground ball and not have too much heat on them at all. And then Petty's playing like Wayne Carey. I think Henry's had a couple of weeks where he's just let the bloke sort of get those contested marks on the wing, and you might think, oh, okay, it's just a mark there, but those marks are really important because they take the pressure off. They allow you to get your game going and move the ball forward. It's like losing 50 metres immediately because they're going to bomb along, and then they've just got to win 1 or 2 more contests, and then it's a goal. So you just have to neutralise it. You just can't let guys mark those. You just have to get rid of it, dispose of it, get it out of bounds, whatever you have to do. Just don't let them mark it. And that was a bit of a theme last night in the air. I felt up forward that we weren't able to minimise the impact of Lever and May. I think they got nearly 50 touches between them, 21 marks. So I'd like to see the stat on how many games Melbourne's won if Lever and May have had sort of those numbers. We got our game going in that third term, so there's obviously negatives when you lose, but got our game going in that third term and looked pretty dangerous when we did go up forward. We were finally able to link up and chain it, and more so execute with a bit of class. But most of the night the class wasn't quite there because of Melbourne's the heat that they applied in what was a pretty ordinary game up until half time. It was a bit of a snooze fest, and thankfully, as I mentioned, it picked up. But Melbourne had more winners on the ground than we did, and that's what you get. So 8 points in the end to the Dees. But also you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater because you lose. It's just all part of the journey, part of the roller coaster. Even the best teams have off nights as well. I don't know if we are the best team in the comp. We won't really know for a while, but I want to be playing our best footy probably around 18 to probably from there really. Whilst it's good to bank some wins early. Banking those early wins means it's not the end of the world if you lose these games by just over a kick. All right, so the stats are going to be interesting here. They usually mean there's usually some more meaning to it, but it's been a very random of late considering the way in which we've won. But we did have more of the ball, which is different for us. But Melbourne, only 10 touches more. Melbourne definitely made us pay with those. I guess they made us pay full price with their possession versus ours. And Melbourne definitely went the kicking game, the kick mark game, which just try and get the ball off us. That apparently works to an extent. Inside 50s were relatively even. Dees had a few more. Disposal efficiency, I reckon early on we were under 60%, so that slightly increased as the game went on. Efficiency inside 50, so usually that's a real strength of ours, and we've had times where we've had like 60%, 63%. It's been crazy. But you're not going to get that all year, especially against a defence like the Dees. They were more efficient inside 50, has to be said. Clearance is a very low clearance game. It was. I reckon there was 10 minutes where there wasn't a clearance, so they were just going full flat stick for a long time. But 27-26, very low clearance game. Centre clearances, Melbourne were too good in that front. Stoppages, 18-15, so around the ground we're okay. Contested ball, Melbourne +3 on that front, so they slightly nudged us there. On the outside, we had a bit more of the ball there, but a lot of that were sort of junk possessions that were under a lot of pressure. We're about to be under a lot of pressure. Marks, I felt like it was like Melbourne, we're going to take 150 marks the way the game was going. We took 96 ourselves. 13 marks inside 50 each, and Melbourne took a few more of their set shots that were at critical times. The contested marks we got absolutely rinsed. Melbourne doubled that, and they were too good in the air, and we were uncompetitive at times in the air. And I mean, you look at the time in front. I think time in front's a really good stat. Kind of shows who almost deserves the win even more. And for the large part, Melbourne had the game on their terms, and we had moments where we were on top and in front on the scoreboard. Whilst it felt like Melbourne had more of the play than we did, there were times where it was like, how are we only a goal down? How are we in front? Those are good signs that you're not playing your best footy. The defence is going to be interesting. So Dees won the tackle battle. Also, the tackles inside 50 were pretty ordinary. Not only for a Dees fan, but 2-13. We don't need like 15, 20 tackles every week, but we need more than 2. We need you want between 5 and 10, sort of as a minimum baseline. But we just did not do much in that way when the ball did hit the ground in our forward line. All right, players. That'll be interesting indeed. So let's have a look at the votes. So Maxi Holmes gets the 3 votes. He was the clear standout for us. He had the 31 touches, 9 marks, a few tackles as well, almost 700 metres gained. So he was significant. He was having a red hot crack, providing that run and drive off half back, and he was a clear standout for mine. The 2 votes. It's interesting, very interesting. I'm going to go Tommy Atkins for the 2 votes. He had the 22, 11 tackles, 5 clearances. Unfortunately got pinged holding the ball late, which wasn't great. But I thought, it was outstanding in the midfield when we probably didn't have too much coverage there. And Bruin obviously going out with injury hurts as well. So, I thought, massive game from him. He cracks in really hard every time. And then the 1 vote to Zach Guthrie. So he had the 24 touches, also kicked a goal. How about that? He had 9 marks, 4 tackles, almost 500 metres gained. So, he had a few mistakes and a few uncharacteristic moments, but for the most part, he fronted up really well. And, he's rock solid down back. He was really good for us. To the rest of the team, Tom Stewart, gosh, he was below his best. He still took 6 marks and a very nice, courageous mark, 21 touches. 3 tackles, but just some decision making that was just a little bit off. It didn't quite look himself. So hopefully he's better for the run. Grind Myers had the 22 and the 5 marks, a couple of tackles, 1 goal assist for Grind. Again he was he's pretty solid. Had a couple of moments where he didn't quite hit the target he'd normally hit, and it's just one of those nights where it didn't quite pay off, but he was still able to laser up a few targets, but it didn't, wasn't all going his way. Jack Bowes was solid. He had the 20 touches, had the 5 marks, 4 tackles, a couple of clearances. Did what he could to minimise the damage out of stoppage from the Dees side of things, and he cracked in and played a solid game for us. Mitchie Duncan kicked a point, had a disposal count of 16, 8 marks, tackle, clearance. It was just a little bit off for Mitch. He just couldn't hit a target, so his disposal efficiency wouldn't be great. But it was a tough night. It wasn't like he was the only one in that camp, but it was a tough night for Mitch and a few others. Stengel's game I really liked. He's probably in the top 4 players. 2 goals, 13 touches, Mr. Clean, 4 marks, 2 tackles, also a goal assist. So, he set up a fair bit, probably 33% of our score there, if I'm going by that, or 33% of our goals through Stengel. So, he kicked some really nice goals, and, he finds a way to be clean when it was a little bit dewy. Clark was pretty decent. He kicked a goal, had the 14 touches, lifted late in that last quarter. He had the 2 marks, 3 tackles, 4 clearances. So, I liked his game. Lifted late when it was really important. Again, hopefully we can get his cleanliness levels up. That's my only real sort of knock at the moment. But, he's a young kid that's going to get better with time. Close, played a pretty solid game, actually. 1 goal, 18 touches, 3 marks. Didn't quite have it's funny because he had more touches, but sometimes he can play a great game and have 10 or 11 touches. No doubt on the work rate. It didn't quite work for him all night, but he did kick a nice goal and celebrated big time, so that was good to see. Cole's game was good. Yet again, he had the 14 touches, 6 marks, got a tackle in there as well. I think Henry was playing on Fritsch, which I'm not really sure why, and Cole had a few, 1 or 2 kicked against him, probably 1 on Fritsch where it was just you couldn't do anything as a defender, and it was just let hang out to dry. But played a good game. Dempsey was handy, had the goal, had also 14 touches, 6 marks, and a goal assist as well. So he had a good go at it. A couple of goals from his involvement, which is good. It wasn't quite just his night. He missed 3 or got 3 points. He could have missed more. Not impossible. At the 15 touches, 7 marks, goal assist, and a clearance. It just wasn't happening for him. McDonald did really well. Ball movement for us was a little bit clunky at times. And yes, sometimes you're in the zone, you don't miss. But I feel like when he plays the whole game, it's crazy. I feel like when Jez misses or doesn't play, he's had a bit of an unorthodox game and hasn't really been firing. He tends to miss those goals that he'd normally just put in the book. It was a bit of a tough night conditions wise, but if you look at Ollie Henry, he didn't mind the conditions. But Jezza he's been great for us and had an off night, and that happens. Ollie Henry kicked the 3, had the 10 touches, 3 marks, a couple of tackles as well. So yeah, he was really good. Again, he just gets 10 touches every week, and he'll kick you 2 or 3. So yeah, again, I'd like a little bit more sort of aerial presence, or at least bring it to ground. If you're not going to mark it, just don't be outmarked. So that's my only real thoughts there. But yeah, in terms of maximum damage on the scoreboard, he does that each and every week. So it's outstanding. Blitz halves was okay. He had the 12 touches, 5 tackles, 4 clearances. So yeah, Blitz was all right. He's played better games, that's for sure, and might have done some decent work on Petrarca and maybe even Viney, and also Oliver. That's the other player I'm trying to think of. But yeah, Blitz puts his heart and soul on the line every week. De Koning, that's a lot of ball for De Koning. 17 and 4 marks. It's probably not a great Stein if your defender's getting too much of the footy. De Koning was okay. Again, he just needs to back himself in and fly for those marks. And yeah, he loses his footing a little bit, feeding footing. Hopefully we can see some good footy from De Koning soon. Some of his better footy. He set up an unrealistic expectation in 2022. He's played the season of his life, and now we're comparing it to 2022 all the time. Over to Reece. Not too much impact here. He had the 6 touches, 2 marks, 3 tackles, clearance. Yeah, I mean, Gawn had the better of him, especially late, and how no one went to try and smother Gawn when he was always going to wheel around from 55 and probably kick it, and he did. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that Conway should give Reece a bit of a spell and just give Conway the keys for a bit and see how he goes. Tui was all right. He kicked a couple of points, 14 disposals, 2 marks, also a tackle and goal assist. So I thought his run through out the wing was handy for us. So he played all right for us, Zaki boy. Henry got the 12 touches, 6 marks, and yeah, I mean, those stats look okay, and he definitely won some good contests, but then, yeah, he just had some shockers. That Fritsch one, he just had to get out of bounds, or put Fritsch out of bounds or do something, and he didn't. So, yeah, and then Fritsch kicks the winner, or the sealer, if you like. And then Petty's just taking marks on the wing all night, so I don't know if that's his man or what the go was, but yeah, it's just all over the shop. Cam Guthrie had the 15, 3 marks, clearance, goal assist. Always a bit of a danger that those second game Blues only played 61% game time, so he probably got managed there. But even when he was on, he was kicking. Kicking was left to be desired, I must say. Once again, second game in after a year of being out, played really good last week. It's always tougher that next week after coming back from long-term injury. Big Hawk, just a solitary point and 11 touches, couple of marks, couple of tackles, potentially some goal assists. Or a goal assist if Jez kicked one. Yeah, again, just ineffectual, really. I mean, when Main leave it, do the damage they do, and you've gone 4 weeks without a goal and haven't done too much other than that, I just know Shannon Neal would just run and jump at every contest that he could get his hands to, and he wouldn't mark every one of them. But look, if Hawk has a rest, it's not like he's rested forever. There will be a time, and that could be at the end of the year. He clearly, he's had some good games where he's kicked some bags of 4, but we're going back to round 4, and we've just finished up round 8. So yeah, he's been an amazing player for us, and when there's going to be a time, whether that's throughout this year or next year, we'll wait and see. He'll bounce back for sure, but I think you've got to give Neil a fair hot crack, and I don't think there's anything wrong with playing all 3 of them, really. If it's not coming to ground and it's being intercept marked and walked out, we had Hawk and Cameron and a lot of small forwards, but then they were still walking it out. So I'd rather a guy that can just compete for the ball and in the air, which Hawk just physically can't at the moment. And Tanner had 9 disposals, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, 40% game time. Unfortunately, another injury. Always seem to get injuries to key players before half time. And on cue, we get another one. But Tanner will. I thought, when he was on, he cracked him. Rowan was on for about half the game as well. He had the 4 touches, 2 marks, goal assist. It was a lovely kick inside as well, which helped sort of set us up. Looking forward to seeing more of Rowan throughout the season, and whether he plays more forward or down back. We'll see what happens there. Some disappointing performances in there. Again, can't play 10 out of 10 every week or 8 out of 10 every week. But that's the fallout there. Over to the next week, we have Port Adelaide at home Friday night. So, again, it's a big game of footy. Port's odds aren't too flash hot there. Gamble responsibly. Not dabbling in that. But, I think they won't have Rosie. He's actually done his hamstring, or did it the other week, and they finally admitted that they did the wrong move there. And, they haven't beaten us at home since maybe 2007. Might be the last time they beat us at home. That's definitely possible. Outside of that, though, we generally get the chocolates at home. Port against the best teams in the comp. And again, it's another litmus test. We get litmus tests every week. Will be tricky. I suspect, us at home will be too good and respond back from what was a bit of an underwhelming performance against the Dees. But again, you can't be. You don't want to be absolutely flying right now. You want to be flying sort of around this sort of section of the season. But what you can do, if you can get yourself set up well with early wins and banking them, then you can manage your list a bit better and look at the long term, as opposed to just trying to get your best 22 playing every week just to win. So all right. Let's circle back to the Dees Cats. Here we go. So it was Melbourne by 8 points in the end. Unfortunately, Cats went down, and first loss of the season. But it's a roller coaster. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we'll see how it all pans out. But big game next week against Port. Hopefully we get the job done, and get back on track to 8-1. That's all from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review, and don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe away. All that amazing stuff. And appreciate you tuning in each and every week. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next video.